live lilac plant. Oh my gosh. Now, you get the potted plant with instructions, but this is a rare, reblooming lilac. Gorgeous scent. Sun-loving, deer-resistant, winter-hardy. I think this is a great way to go, especially if you're trying to mix in that gnome garden. You've got your butterfly bushes. Add some lilac, too. Now, you get a choice. You can choose the pink that you just saw on your screen, or now you see the purple. So you choose the pink or the purple lilac, and it's 3 easy payments of $9.33. Humongous find in the show this morning, and this is something that a lot of folks, Katie, when it comes to lilac, it really reminds them of a loved one or a place that they grew up, because these are just, these are one of those scent memory moments that just take you right back.
So is. You're so right. I love the smell of lilac, and it was something that I had growing up in my home. So when you said that, it just took me back to my childhood, because that smell, I mean, the smell of lilac is so sweet, and so it's not overpowering though. But
No.
what I love here is that we have a pink lilac. I love purple. Listen, purple is, in my house, I've got a 5-year-old and a 7-year-old, Mary. We've got a lot of purple, but it's such a rare color in lilac.
Yeah.
So what I love is that we are able to snag some of those for you guys. People, if they know lilac, they're going to walk by this and be like, what is that plant? It smells like a lilac. Where did you get a pink lilac?
Well, and I love, too, that, you know, typically with lilac, it'll bloom once in a season. This is a re-bloomer. Can you explain to everybody what that means?
Yes, exactly. So typical lilac are, first of all, much taller than this. So we'll talk about the compact nature of this one, but it also re-blooms. So your typical bloom season is late spring. Here in Pennsylvania, that's June, depending on where you live. It's later in the spring. But then what this lilac does is the blooms will fade. Still beautiful foliage, still a beautiful garden plant, a statement plant in your garden. But then as it's resting, it's saving up energy to put on another show late summer through fall. There's no other lilac that does that. So if you want bloom power, but yeah, the foliage is nice, but that's why we get our lilacs, right? It's for that gorgeous, that color and that fragrance. This is the only lilac that you should have in your garden.
Oh, I agree. And the fact that you can choose between the pink and the purple is a great way to go. But this is how it shows up at the house. And then when we get, look at, it's already off to the races. And when we get this home, Katie, what do we need to do with it?
So lilacs like full sun. So you can consider a place that it will get full sun. Now full sun, I said, with our butterfly bush is 6 hours. The more sun you give these plants, the more they'll bloom. So they'll be fine in about 4 hours. But again, we want this lilac for the bloom, so try to look for a place with 6 hours. Also, it's a compact lilac, so it can go in containers. Yay! Containers. You bring that smell up to your face, or you have it on your patio, somewhere where you can really enjoy it. Or, of course, you can put it in the ground as well. At its mature size, it's about 4 feet wide by 4 feet tall. So think about that in terms of spacing. It is a shrub, so it can belong in a garden and take up a nice, decent amount of space. Or like here, if you don't have a garden anymore, now you can still have lilacs in containers.
You know what? I want to sit next to it because it's just making me feel like I want to picnic next to, I want to get a sandwich and I want to picnic next to the lilac. Because look, we have this beautiful set where we're on a porch and we've got one sitting up here. Now, from here to here, Katie, about how much time would elapse until I get to this place?
So this is going to be your 3rd season. What the set support plant that you have will be your 3rd season. And I love that you grabbed the fertilizer, because when we say it'll be your 3rd season, of course, that's with proper care. So the first year, make sure you're watering it well. After that, it's established, but you still want to fertilize it.
Yeah,
so as soon as you see green shoots coming out again in the spring, grab your Cottage Farms Sunflower Booster and start fertilizing this about once a month.
I agree. And you know what? When it comes to the scent, it's going to speak for itself. But when you get these home, they are easy to care for. And, you know, you've got to give them water. You've got to give them sun. We know that about plants. But the fact that I can put it in a container and now move it, maybe, if I wanted to enjoy it in a different place, or if the sunlight changes in your yard. I look at this, too. Now, Katie, earlier in our presentation, I was sharing with everybody that wouldn't this be fun to layer in with your butterfly bushes? Is that a good recommendation in your expert opinion?
Absolutely. Okay. These are 2 statement shrubs. So they would be something, you know, you have your 3 butterfly bushes. and you have your lilac. So they could even go in the same garden. We have that lavender as we go to Provence a little later. I
Ooh.
think the lavender would also, it's a little smaller. So the
Okay.
butterfly bushes and the lilac are going to be, you know, a plant that it's a shrub, it's a foundation or a backbone of your garden, if you will. And then you want to kind of decorate around the front. So both of those are great. They both attract pollinators. They're both going to bloom profusely for you. Both love full sun. So yeah, it would definitely be, they would be great together.
Yeah, you know, you get this great grower's guide in the box when you get your plant. So do not worry. You don't have to write everything down. If you are ordering this right now, which I highly suggest, we have the pink on set. We also have the purple available for purchase. But if you're ordering right now, which I highly suggest that you do, you don't have to write down everything that we're saying. You get a great grower's guide in the box along with it. It's going to tell you what kind of water, what kind of sun, what kind of blooming period, where will it thrive. But the big overarching message here is that this re-blooms. And about when, Katie, just in case folks are tuning in right now, about when will it bloom and then re-bloom?
Yep. So this is lilac, traditional lilac. All of them will be for you late spring. So here in Pennsylvania, that's June. But then all the other lilacs, they don't do anything else for the rest of the season. This one, this Flowerfesta, is going to rest for her beauty rest and then come back late summer all the way into fall. You'll get more of these gorgeous, big, either pink or purple, and incredibly deliciously fragrant blooms.
I did not post it, but my husband has a picture of me in our neighbor's lilac bush with my, you can't see anything but the shoulders down because I am just face first into that lilac bush because it smells so good. Continue to place your orders. We've got pink and purple for you. Don't forget about your fertilizer packs and your booster. We'll be talking about that throughout the show. But as we wrap up on that one, let me give you a heads up of some other items that are coming up in the show. This is Cottage Farms. This is expert gardening at its